Good afternoon, everybody. Give me 1 second. I was planning on going live, but I wasn't planning on going live just yet. Let me turn down some things, some distractions. Let me do that. I have someone bringing me a coffee. How sweet. Okay, Oh, wait. Jen, I saw your comment. I scheduled mine this earlier today. I apologize if you had one. I was actually going to move this later, but I decided to move it earlier. And you'll see why. You'll see why. I don't normally get this kind of information anymore since I distanced myself from 90 Day Fiancé. But it was sent to me, entrusted to me. So I'll cover it and drag it out as long as possible. I'm just kidding. It's not even something I normally check all the time either. Let me first say hello to everybody. Yeah, sorry, Jen, about that. Also, I don't know if Ann and Sweets are going live tonight. I know it was discussed. Boy, I really just threw some shit together. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Health. Hey, Gamecock Jenny. Hello. PMR. I know, I'm so sorry. Wasn't planning on going live this quickly. Hello, Chantal. Sudi. Hello. Michelle. Hello, Anne. Coochie. Gypsy. Hello. And anybody in the background that just wants something to watch because I don't have anybody else to watch, you're welcome to watch. You're welcome to chat, really. I don't care. Okay, so yeah, today's live. Again, I have said, I really hadn't planned to cover Lita and Eric. But again, this was sent to me. And when I researched a little bit further really quick, I realized this had already been done. But let's just get this out of the way. I'm sure some other people want to talk about it. I quickly, I don't know, hey, Brooke, hey, how are you? You're welcome to come up here in a second. So big news, big Lita news. I don't have my news, and this really isn't new for them because this happened back in February, apparently, of 2024. I mean, when you go look at the records on her under her name, there's a lot. There's a lot. But as of today, the 29th, and I'm going to show the pictures. I guess all the letters and everything else didn't work. And Lita has applied. Let me remove these comments. Hello to anybody else coming in. Has applied for separation. So I guess all the begging and whatever didn't work. Let me make sure I've got the right one here. Yeah, 7029. And I hope you're going to have to zoom. Yeah, it happened in 2024 as well, but it was dismissed, according to the records. Okay, can you guys see that? I don't know how to make it bigger. I really don't. This is the only way. And I could have added it as a video maybe, but I'll read it out. So starting at the top, we got the case filing date, which is today, annulment, legal separation, and it looks like attorneys, and it's Lita versus Eric, and her date of birth, her address. Well, she did apply for two motions as well yesterday that were both denied. I'm going to show you part 2. Sorry, guys, I will get to your comments right away, but the started yesterday where she Petition for order to waiver of fees granted. I'm not sure what that really actually means, but so 7/28/25 yesterday, summons and petition without minor children. Yeah, that's what happens when you get rid of them all. I guess it makes divorce a lot easier. Also, confidential petition addendum. And then there is a petition affidavit to remove her address from online record. Denied. There is a petition to seal, order to motion or to seal or redact a court record. Denied. And then marital settlement agreement. Maybe they already had a marital separation agreement back from February, which we're going to look at here in a second. Proposed by one party, Lita. Honestly, if I was Eric, I would have been racing to the courthouse myself. Now we'll go ahead, since I have these up, let's look at back in February. Let me go to my records here. Hold on. Of course, the chickens want to start being loud. All right, let me find February. Come on up. Page 1. This was February 12th, 2024. So, year and four months, 14, 16 months. It's for divorce. And let me go from the bottom up, actually, because that goes through all the things. Filing fee paid, summons with petition without minor children. Again, of course, the baby was not in this world yet. And I don't know, I guess it's just surprising me, the petition without minor child, even then, because they did have a minor child. Maybe he never adopted him. I don't know. Then there was a confidential petition addendum, a stipulation, a proposed order, and then 220. So that started on 2/12. 220, order dismissing divorce, legal separation. 221, dismissed. 228/24, additional text as to letter to petitioner, stop payment on check for filing fee. Get your money back. Get that $184.50 back, Lita. Letters, correspondence, additional text as to letter from petitioner grant regarding stop payment on file. Boy, she's not letting that go. That's 3/5. And again, on 3/5, petition of waiver of fees filed after case closure. Now let me go to the page at the top. So those are all the details. And again, the top is just the parties and that it was a divorce. So, Brooke, if you want to, again, I didn't even give you really a heads up. This was literally, again, I had a completely, holy shit, there's a lot of messages. I'm going to drop the link. If Brooke wants to talk about it with me, because it's sticking in my mind, and that's what I want to talk about to Brooke. I remember when, I'll wait till she comes on panel. Let me catch up with you guys. How are you all doing? Hey, George. PP, I see people saying hello to you. I think I said hello. Health. Daisy, I see people saying hello. I don't even have anything loaded, man. I feel so naked down here. It's not normal for me. Hey, Hob. Thank you for my cocks. Cooch, I don't know if you're in here. That's not. You know what? I'm not in the mood for this today. Going to timeout. I don't know what's going on way up here. Brooke, let me know if you are. Oh, thank you. Lovely. Is there already shit going on? Because there is a few things I want to say. I have been listening off and on to the others cover it. But like I said, there's a few things that stuck out just specifically, and I'm just talking about Lita's videos herself. Let me see. Let me come way back down here. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I know I have great mods, but I took care of one. If I did it wrong or if it was somebody else, let me know. Brooke, are you coming up? If not, I'm just going to go. I do not know. TJ Maxx, you might as well break for camp and start gathering supplies. If you're in a TJ Maxx or a Ross line, I'll tell you that. I hope you brought water. Hey, bulletproof. All right. Yeah, no, you focus on checking out. All right, so I'm going to talk about it then. Yes, her appointment was moved to tomorrow. Let's all have good thoughts, good prayers. If you do that for Brooke's family, she has shared it on her community tab. If you want to go read, but that is definitely something. Why do I have a feeling it's wreaths or little things for wreaths? I'm just giving you a hard time. So I want to correct myself because I had thought that she had just gone to the consulate to just get a updated passport for her son, but I was reading and absolutely credit John. He's done some good work on this. He's got a lot of text over there that I was reading through beforehand. Per Eric, he said that she was going for the babies as well. So that always bothered me, like before all this happened, and maybe I made an assumption, or I'm not even sure what I based that on. Yes, you need to do that as well. But anyway, if you listen to about it's for my I heard this great place to get stuff for hair. I don't know anything about hair, so anyway. Oh, wasn't all the way up. Okay, so the thing that always I had questions about. Now, what were they? I just had them. Oh, Lita. Again, this is like July 5th-ish when her baby went to like the first or second hospital and she's getting her car back. I'm pretty sure it's in that video as she's sitting in her apartment. Was like her jovial, kind of self that she was, pleasantly surprised that Eric was arrested this time. And she referenced a June 21st incident, but I don't see any arrest for that. And maybe, you know what, while I'm sitting here, I'm going to search for Eric. But she says she was the one always getting arrested. All the other records that I can find are related to the dog, motions related to the dog. That dog situation happened in January. And there's been motions and whatnot in between there. And then there's the other things with small claims. I don't know, just like little things, just, stuff I would have ignored altogether. But we can go through each and every one of them if you guys want. Hold on. My husband is walking in. Un momento. Shh, be quiet. He doesn't know I'm live. Okay. Okay. I'm going to drop the link again for, or you let me know. I'll drop it again. She's coming around the bend. Oh, I know that bend. There's like 3 bends in those lines. Gotta help you at Christmas time. Okay, yeah. So back to what I was saying. Lita was like pleasantly surprised that they actually took her side this time and arrested Eric and not herself. So again, though, I don't find a lot of records of her being arrested for some kind of assault. So that's where I'm a little unclear for her even to say that. So maybe they've had multiple squabbles where they've just come and, separated them for the night. June 21st is what I understood it. And John or whoever can clarify if they want that. That's when she moved out and they rented their other house and they were selling everything. And she got into, from what I've understood since, some, I don't know if it's Section 8 housing, some kind of assisted housing. So yeah, and Eric, it's on John Yates's page, talks about living out of his truck, and it looks like, he was coming by to visit the daughter, and I hope John's okay. My understanding from John was that he wanted as much Lita information to get out. So if I reference some of that, please go check it yourself. It's John Yates 327. Okay. But where was I at now? He wanted as much stuff to get out, but yeah, they were selling everything, and I'm trying to remember the writing. Sounds like he was upset about the Corvette and everything. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. Let me get caught up here. Hold on. It'll come back to me. I missed my afternoon coffee. Different towns, counties. Yeah, and that's what so apparently the bail jumping, I think John said this, or I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you where I've read or heard stuff. It's been, a lot, like for most of us. But that the bail jumping was because she actually changed locations, her house, without alerting the PO or whatever. And that's the reason they used. I would think leaving the country would have been a good enough reason, but I've tried chickpeas. I absolutely love them. All right. How do we get to chickpeas? Why would she find? Well, that's a good question. I'm assuming. I'm assuming she's gotten some legal advice here. Of course, we can play internet lawyers here, internet detectives, if we really wanted to. I would be thinking stay married. I don't know the laws in Wisconsin. Can married spouses testify on each other? Some you can't at all, but some allow you to if they so choose to. So I personally would have, maybe she thinks it makes her case stronger as being a domestic abuse victim. That's if I had to guess. Let me get back down here. Thank you so much. I had some ice sitting for their bath, but
This is got up on her own.
oh really? Yeah, she's been in there long. She's like hot. She's like, I do not. It was mentioned she was selling herself because of the pending divorce, but now she wants him back. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know how you get into a place and then with a Corvette as one of your assets. That to me sounds very suspect and a little weird. All right, she's in line. But she did, yeah. Eric alluded that she was contacting him saying, let's leave this country. I'll give you a baby boy. And then now suddenly, yeah, I can't tell you what happened. Maybe somebody else can tell us what happened. Lita, if you're listening, you're free to tell us. I could be impartial. And I have taken a step back into thinking, okay, I know I've made some claims. I am going to wait for the investigation to really, really try before I make a judgment. But based off what we saw right off the top was not a good look. It did not sound good. It did not look good, and it did not end well. So those are facts. And it's hard not to react to facts of casually mentioning that your child has a broken back and that she's in heaven now. But I'm over it. That just does not look good. God feels wrong saying. I know. I'm trying to always keep that, like, the utmost respect of what this is about. I have, no one. I hear a lot of rumblings in the background, like, let the police do their job, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you haven't seen whether it's this community or any of the other communities out there, they will cover crime. They're going to cover it. They're going to cover the even though we've strayed from the 90-day fiance, multiple fucking spinoffs in covering it, that is where we all originated from for the most part. Some others, I'm sure, wandered in from other communities, but people are going to cover it. And it's just like people talked about when Paul's doing his Paul I call Siwa doing Siwa and Paul's polling. People are going to talk about it. Hey, Christoph fan. I know none of us know the truth. I just cannot get a grasp on her demeanor and the lack of showing any group. Yeah, that, like, how when something hits you straight up, you're going to react to it straight up. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep a more open mind. But, this whole thing of, I heard SIDS a couple times, and I'm like, I don't see how that's possible. I don't think SIDS makes, and I'm not a doctor, but, doesn't make your brain swell. Right? Unless there's an underlying injury. But again, that's kind of why Brooke is more than welcome. I also read it on Facebook. Fabulous. So yeah, we're going to speculate. We're going to talk about it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen. You can wait for 14 months for, the beginning of a trial, if it goes that way, or you can listen to people talking about it. There's nothing wrong with that. We hear stories. People talked about the Diddy thing for I don't know how long. The guy in Idaho that killed 4 people, that was something. Yeah, I have those videos, and I think Kendra played them. No, I don't need to. Can you just make sure you're not a penis back there? I will. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm putting you up. Okay, hello.
Hello.
Not a penis.
I'm not a penis. Well, not a literal penis, but I can be a dick.
Yay, 60 day. All right. So yeah, I was I don't know, I should have not been shocked to see that. But yeah, what do you think?
Can you run it back for me? So are you saying that she has made a filing on what date again? I was listening, but
Yesterday into today. Let me pull it up again. Let me pull up this one. And this one I think is a separation where the first one was a divorce. So this one started 7/28, which would have been yesterday. Well, first she is a petition without minor children. Hold on, let me look at the top of this where it says she's going, before it said divorce. This time it's for annulment, which I don't see how, or legal separation. So the first one was divorce. But then, yeah, she added trying to keep her address private and also to seal these records, which was also denied, according to this.
So yesterday she filed for an annulment.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's weird. You have a kid together.
No, they don't.
No,
not anymore.
You don't get annulments if you have a child.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Well, yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Okay. So I was told that the reason she was getting rid of all of her things was because of a pending divorce. And so I guess that's the February filing that you're speaking about, correct?
This is a year ago, 2024, not 2025.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So it's like 16 months ago-ish. Yeah. And then she got pregnant later in the year and then had the child sometime early this year. Maybe that was a last-ditch effort. I don't know. Maybe that was her, again, trying to give him a baby.
They were taking family pictures a few months ago, and she stiffed the photographer.
Is that what one of the, yeah. If I pull up the records, there's some small claim stuff. I remember there is an interview on Maria's page, or there was. I remember seeing it when she talked to Lita about that whole case, and something about Yelp reviews. I don't even know if that's the same freaking issue. It just seems like there's, like I said,
it is. It is. She, like, Lita went over there to her that lady's photography page and left bad reviews, and then didn't, like, canceled the checks or something that she wrote for her to pay for the session. So that's, if I'm remembering correctly.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Was that?
And then, but let me tell you, if you go over, and I don't know if you frequent or if you go look on this page on Facebook, but I posted and it's the Adams County Sheriff's page. And it's just a few posts down where it talks about the death investigation. And if you go under the comments, somebody's in there saying that she was trying to sell all this stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and one of the things that she was selling was a semi truck, and that it was sketchy and it was really weird. I kind of just blew it off, but she said it was like whenever the person inquired about the truck, she said it wasn't hers; it was one of her friends. So I'm just like,
if you remember, right before this, I was looking at John's page to see if he had already covered this. And I know when I read through that little thing, and in there, Eric mentions that they had to give up the truck because there was so many mechanical problems. They couldn't afford to fix it. So is it the same truck? Or, I mean, they had a trucking business, I thought, at some point.
I just thought it was weird that she would, like, why would she be saying it? And you'd have to go look. I don't know what it is, but that person was saying she was acting sketchy about who actually owned that truck, saying it was a friend. And I thought that was weird. Like, why is it? Is the truck really a friend's name? Are you referring to Eric as a friend? What does that mean?
You can't sell a friend's truck without the title.
The title, yeah.
So that's, I'm looking for Hobby's comment. Somebody wants you to go back and look at it. I'm not sure if it's in regards, but I don't find it. Can you post it again? Oh my God, I'm way down. Let me get up. Let me get caught up, actually. Good Lord. So, yeah, I didn't know if in all the discussions you had this been something she had been muling, if in the background this was already known. Like, again, someone sent it to me. I normally wouldn't even cover, but again, someone sent it to me. So I'm like, you know what? Fine, I'll cover it.
Dude, she is off the damn deep end, and I don't care. It still bothers the fuck out of me that she was in Roadhog's chat, like pageant waving at everybody. Like, this is some weird ass behavior. Now we're gonna go throw an annulment. Like, is she trying to make it look like she's crazy? Is that what she's trying to do here? Like, I don't understand. Now, I get the keeping the address and stuff off the internet, but I think that's already pretty much known. It's all over the court filings what her address is.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. Sorry, but that ship has sailed. Unless she's planning on moving again, which wasn't it her fear of she was the most hated person in her apartment complex. So might not be a bad idea. I remember her getting her card. In fact, there's a video on her page about it I can show. I didn't watch it, but she does. I'm not sure if it's permanent citizenship or a green card. I'll check on that in 1 second. Just remind me about that, sweets.
I'm going to see what's.
Is the home, do you know, and this apartment in the same county?
That I'm not aware of. But if you go to the Wisconsin Circuit Court documents, you can look and see if they're both in the same town or not, because it's got both addresses on there, especially the bell jumping one. It's got her current and the old address. So, and I'm a bit confused on, and I never have gone back to read those texts that he has posted. So I'm probably asking questions that y'all know the answers to. But now I forgot what I was going to ask. Now I forgot. Oh, the house. They said that Lita rented the house while Eric was still there. How exactly did that all come to fruition? Like, how do you rent a house with people's stuff in it?
Yeah, well, apparently, I'm trying to remember what I just read. Eric had said he was living out of the truck at the time and was coming by to visit, but something about child support too. Like, she's right on that. She was right on the whole child support. They hadn't even been like separated at that from June 21st to July, obviously 4th. This all happened. Again, and I'm basing it off of what she said herself, or the date was June 21st of when their last fight. But it seems like she was the aggressor, and that whole thing with the dog, and that I was a little irritated too reading through all the text that John Yates has on his page with Eric, knowing that the dog was an issue for her and that she didn't basically want the dog. She was the dog was stressing her out, and she was like melting down while he's out on the road. even then, I guess he had learned to not react, because if he reacted, it gave her an excuse to go off more, is what it sounded like to me. I've been around those kind of people where you got to walk on eggshells, you know.
Mm-hmm. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Were you
good.
talking?
No, I wasn't. Jason had just called me. I mean, this is the second time in a week that my new car, not to disrupt, just, I don't know, I keep getting hacked or some shit. I sound like Siwa, I know it. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
Oh no, I lost my place. Where was I?
Sorry about
Thanks.
that. So my last question was about renting. So he was living in the truck,
Yeah.
and he came by to visit, and then what happened? That's when he
So
called.
yeah, they lost the business because I guess they couldn't afford to keep the upkeep, or probably from all her shenanigans. And I'm sorry, Lita. Until you tell me otherwise, I'm going to go with what I see. But legal, I'm not sorry. I am sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm trying to be fair, but anyway, based off everything I'm seeing, all the legal shenanigans just from this year alone, how much it must have cost. So they had to get out of the house to not lose it. So they rented it out. They didn't sell it, according to Eric. It's not that, it's just being rented.
So they
And
own that. They own that property.
that's my understanding.
Hmm. I thought they were renting it too, which is another part I didn't understand. But
Grandson, and let him leave. Do you guys remember how
if they
Lita?
were getting a divorce, that house, if they owned it, should be put up. I mean, they should have to sell that, split the money. I mean, it's part of the divorce, but I
Yeah,
guess.
I would think that would have been first. Like, don't even rent it out. Just get it ready to sell. I mean, if you're selling your rice cooker and shit to make it, but again, she's already in assisted. Again, I don't know what level of assistance she's getting in this particular complex. I've just been told that it's an assisted type thing. So I don't know if that's like anywhere from, 10%, 80%, who knows? Uh, but of course, the most of us ran to the same conclusion that she was selling everything and this was premeditated. And maybe it was just their marriage was falling apart. They separated. They didn't need all this stuff. Eric had nowhere to live or keep it, and she was making a cash grab. I mean, I could see it that way too. That's where
Hmm.
I'm trying to be fair. Come up with other explanations besides sad, scary ones that, like, my God, did she plan this? And like I said, the fact that I hear that she actually did apply for a passport in her daughter's name, I feel some better. So that
Yeah,
makes
but
me feel a little bit
that
better.
makes it sound like she's selling everything off to take the money and run and go back to Indonesia. I mean, but she knows she can't do that. So
I'm having a hard time believing that she went to Indonesia and came back. I'm having a really, because there was a lot that had already been shared. There was a lot of outrage. She was already afraid at, or was seeing the outrage at this time. I can't imagine that her dad would even advise she go back. I can't imagine that she loves Eric enough to come back and make it work. There's where I have a
well,
hard time. Sorry, guys.
Eric is the one
All
that
right. Wait,
told
wait.
the anonymous number that, and Lita did also confirm that.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You kind of went in and out.
I'm sorry. Eric had noted in those text messages that she went and traveled to Indonesia, and Lita has also confirmed that, from what I understand.
She did confirm it?
Yeah. Well, I asked
Yeah.
Maria, and she said yeah. So that's all I know. All I know is what I'm told, and that's what. And so I straight up
Did you
asked
ever,
her.
if it was part of her, was she was out on bail, correct, when she left the country, right? So
Yes.
there was no restrictions about leaving the country?
John said no. Whenever we were on Heidi's panel, he said that the coming into or out of the country did not trigger it. It literally was the address change without notification. I imagine that if she, I
That's
mean, she does, and she doesn't have a passport now, so she can't do that again. And that's the whole reason they went in and demanded she give it back. And if you go back and read, I forgot where I read it, it said that she herself had made comments to people in their department, or however it was worded, that she was going to be bringing the kid back. So that's why they moved in and arrested her. I'm having a hard time with her going to a hospital, being able to text, and going there for the sole purpose to appear in court. It's just all fucking bizarre.
Right. Hold on, I'm looking up to see her video about her getting her I'm curious what her status was, at least at this point in time. Hold on. I remember seeing it. I'm just looking for it.
Yeah, it should be there in that circuit court. I don't think she.
Well,
I mean,
I'm talking about with the whole 90-day fiance thing, getting her green card. I remember seeing a
oh,
video
oh,
about
oh.
it that they made like 7 years ago. Let me see. Hold on. Before ceremony, they got married again. Blah blah blah. They did a lot of traveling. You can go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just looking here real quick. If you have anything to add.
No, it's okay. I'm just looking at the comments, or at least attempting to. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why Eric would lie about that, the Indonesia thing. I definitely think. I mean, if you remember, Lita said that she told her dad when he said, "Come home, I can't. I have court stuff to finish up." Um, and I'm wondering if, like, I'm sure she didn't. If she could probably come in and out of the country since she does have a green card, as long as this court stuff is cleared up. So I would imagine that would be an incentive to do that and to come back. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. Well, this is where I go back and forth. Like, surely she's not. If I was guilty and I knew I was guilty, I wouldn't be coming back in the country. But again, I also look at Lita and I look at her record and I see that she's gotten away with a lot
With
of
everything.
things. Yeah. And so she probably could. And apparently, so Eric did acknowledge that the son was severely autistic. I don't know if he gave it a level or what, but I don't,
Bastard. Sorry.
That's okay. I can't find this video. I know I saw it.
Everybody keeps saying that, and that she's gonna blame the boy.
That's what, honestly, that was the first thing to get him out of the country. He can't either. Well, he apparently can't testify. It sounds like if he's, I don't know what level autistic. I don't know. I'm not educated enough to speak on that. But yeah, either to blame it on him. I hate to say that, Lita. I hope that's not the case. But the thing is, when you go out there first and say there was no kind of accident, you kind of already kind of box yourself in a corner. All right, I give up looking for that. I can't find it. If anybody finds it, let me know. She kind of boxed herself in the corner right from the jump by saying things that, she makes it clear that, yes, Eric hit her. She didn't say she dropped the baby. She didn't say she felt the baby in any kind of distress or whatever. The police came, did not take them, either her or the baby, to the hospital. So obviously the baby was in okay condition, right? I mean, that's common sense there. And he gets arrested 12 hours later. 3 a.m. he is arrested. And then 3 p.m. ish the next day is my understanding is when she called the police. So she wasn't, I heard you say this somewhere, don't know where, that I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to read, that she did not perform CPR. Did you say that?
That's what I was, yes. Remember, if I was in, I think it might be in the Eric messages or on Heidi's panel, that I asked if CPR was in progress whenever they arrived, and and the answer was no. CPR started when EMS arrived. Baby unresponsive. They were able to get the baby. They were able to get the baby's heartbeat back and breathing, but I'm sure it was, of course, with chest compressions, medication, and an ambu bag, because they also said they did not intubate until they got to the hospital. But it's a 5-week-old baby too, so I don't know what the protocol is for in the field. I don't know how far the travel was. I don't know any of the other stuff that's necessary. But
for anoxia, to do brain death, are we talking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
Anything over 5 minutes is total death, cellular, and that's heart, brain. But brain death is definitely no um, cardiorespiratory, no breathing,
Activity.
no heart beating for greater than 5 minutes. So CPR being administered, and I remember somebody asking, could the back be broken from the CPR? You got to understand, baby CPR, for they're that young, you're doing it with 2 of your fingers, not 2 of your
Right.
hands.
Did she ever confirm with Maria or anybody that she actually is a medical professional? I mean, I was playing old videos where she said she was keeping up on her medical training, but did
Girl,
is that
back in the day when I was her friend, she would tell me that she was working at a hospital as like an aide, or that she's. It never fucking made sense to me, but that she was working and trying to get. And I do know when you're a doctor in another country, you got to do all these classes, and a lot of times, like Filipino nurses will come, and they were doctors over there, but they're nurses over here, and I think it's a process to get your licensure. But dude, I would try to talk to her about the most basic medical stuff, and she knew nothing. That was years ago.
That's interesting. Well, maybe
Nothing.
she was like a CNA equivalent, where it's changing bedpans and helping, moving patients and that kind of thing. Maybe she just didn't want to admit that on. So wait, okay. So Sassy asked, did she ever announce her pregnancy or gender? Here, this is my memory, and then I'm gonna let Anne say this, but well, not let her. Anyway, I remember back in January or even before that when she was 6 months pregnant, by the way, when she was arrested in January for the dog abuse. And I really didn't look into it. I had heard about it, but I remember her showing up in chat after that, and it had come out that she was arrested at 6 months pregnant. So she had been in and out of chats, not a lot, not mine a lot, but I'd see her in like Maria's every now and then. She'd pop into mine. Never once for 6 months mentioned, 5 months, 4 months mentioned that she was pregnant. And yeah, people are like, "Wait, so you're pregnant?" And yeah, I mean, it wasn't no gush. Again, that's maybe her culture. It may be just her affect. But so I didn't know she posted pregnancy pictures. I didn't even know anything until, unfortunately, the baby was already past that she even had the baby. But Anne probably, I guess you followed her on IG. I did not. And she said that she posted pregnancy pictures. I guess that's what they were fighting about with the damn videographers. Maybe it was
Well,
those pictures.
the only reason I knew she was even pregnant was when the dog thing happened, and she said I'm 6 weeks pregnant, or 6 weeks, 6 months pregnant, whatever, having to go to jail. I don't remember if that was in an article, if Eric said it, or how that happened, but that's the only way we all knew she was even pregnant. She's
Isn't
had me
that
blocked.
Yeah, is it privacy?
I don't know, but yes, bulletproof CPR. Even if you're a CNA, yes, they have to go through CPR. RNs are the ones that have to do ACLS, but anybody does basic life support that works with patients. Hmm.
I don't know. She really, I think, did just like I said. She didn't talk about the baby that I saw anywhere, but then all the stories come out after the baby's passing, and yeah,
The
as every
911 operator should have told her to start CPR. And you know what? Why hasn't anybody has that been FOIA yet? The 911 call. I'm sure it won't be
good
released.
question. I took, I'll ask John Nerva. I don't know. Maybe they have. That would be, and again, it's not. I know I'm being flippant, and I understand the subject matter. But I would assume that would have been done. I don't know if they release. I mean, they release them, right? It doesn't matter the nature of the calls. That
If they're investigating, though, I could see them not releasing it until the investigation is complete. Kind of like with all the other high profile like cases and stuff, but they might. I mean, they released the Coburger 911 calls, but again, the investigation had been completed. So
all right,
I don't know.
Genera, can you get on that? Sorry. I honestly would like to hear it because I have a feeling I'd hear the same detachment. Yeah, my baby not breathing. I don't know. Maybe there's maybe she points to whoever and she's protecting them later. Like if she is trying to blame it on the son, maybe she in the call says something, and maybe that would just really, like I said, we're not investigators, but hell, I don't care. We're gonna play one on YouTube. What the hell? Yeah, did she
Yeah,
announce the
totally.
before? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm tired of people acting like we're supposed to sit here quietly, but I've seen it's ridiculous.
Well,
We've all
let's just
watched.
say this. If we're going to believe Lita's account of things, if we're going to believe the baby's legs were moving and then the baby went unresponsive, then I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so you were looking at your baby was kicking and just fine, and then bam, went unresponsive. So let's say that then on one call happened, and the 911 operator said, okay, this is how you do CPR, and they'll explain it to you over the phone. Take your first two fingers, put it right in between the breast, the breast area, whatever they say. And then, so if CPR would have in fact been being done, then this would not have probably been the outcome.
That's so
You know,
sad.
so
And we can't ignore the fact that she's the one that told us it was a fractured back, I think is the actual words. And the fact of the matter is, she would have been exhibiting some kind of signs, whether it's not eating. I mean, she would have had some kind of distress going on, correct?
definitely, of course, like I said, it's a very distinctive cry. It's a high pitched cry. Um, and yeah, she would have been like, if there were, depending on the part of the back that was broken, she could have been posturing. Her little arms could have been going in, or things happen neurologically to when these kind of things happen, and they're not progressive; they're immediate.
It's weird too. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going all over. I'm thinking about the text that I just read on John Yates, and I didn't hear anger and disgust. Well, of course, it's a text message, but I didn't feel the anger and disgust of Eric in those text messages. It was just very matter of fact, also, which I thought was interesting. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like that effing a hole.
Yeah,
Didn't even.
yeah.
I mean, there's.
Fucking,
It's like both of them are bloop, nothing.
it's fucking weird. Weird. This whole situation is weird, and I, I don't know
Yeah.
what's taken so long. And it's weird about the funeral arrangements that there's not going to be a funeral. It's weird that the autopsy not being at least preliminary, having a preliminary result is weird as well. There should be a preliminary result before toxicology's done. Um, but they're not. I don't. From what I understand, it's not been completed. So
Thank you, Anne. Well, yeah. So, how long? I'm gonna turn this off. I hear it's hot. So obviously, if they were able to put her to rest, that means obviously the autopsy and everything has been completed. But I know it takes a while to write it up. Like, how long are we looking at? You think?
so when my dad died, I got a preliminary cause of death within days. So, and then of course it was preliminary, meaning if the toxicology comes back to change that, they can, change that finding. And that's what the preliminary does. They're like, okay, if nothing's in this baby's system, then this is how she passed away. And I don't even know if they have released the body yet.
Didn't they already have a service, or was it just service and just for her spirit? I mean, what?
I don't know. I
I
have
don't
no.
know.
I was told no funeral, no celebration of life. Whatever's going to happen will be just immediate family. But I wasn't. I don't think it was made clear whether the body's been released and all that's been done.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry. And I know I'm jumping all over, guys. Part of your messages are reminding me of things. And I kind of didn't get John's irritation at Eric, but I get it now because, especially after reading those messages that's on his page with Eric and whoever, about like, again, he knew the dog was at risk. He knew that she was having mental meltdowns all the time. And he left that baby with her, knowing her inability to control her emotions, knowing that she was impulsive in reacting. So that I get more and more irritated, and then I'm more irritated as I'm reading just by his lack of anger, his lack of, and he, you know what, and I'll give him this. Guys also do grieve differently, so yeah, see how I play this game with myself back and forth.
I do the same
Um,
thing.
I know. So you'll hear me talking out of literally both sides of my ass because I'm trying to make it make sense. But again, I know we have to wait for this information. But I'm just saying, based off of everything that she's told us herself, right out of the gate, literally the day of, she excluded Eric herself. She
Her
excluded the fact.
saying that baby went to heaven before it was off the ventilator, and while it was still breathing, still had a heartbeat, still had vital signs. I don't know of any mother that would claim an infant's death until that death happened. Why is she claiming it? Almost like, I hate to say this. This is going to sound so fucking morbid, but like a victory. And I don't want to think that, but it's like, I don't know. Why would she say
It's
that? Why would
shocking.
any mom say that your baby's dead when there's still hope because there's still a heartbeat?
I exactly. And to bring, okay, I'm going to only bring God into it because she did. And her last, of course, it was all about her. God, why are you doing this to me? It was done to your daughter, but okay. So if she had that kind of faith, exactly, why would you not rely on that faith then?
Yeah,
That's also weird to me.
totally. Because miracles happen every day. And I know that the outlook was probably grim from the beginning, which also denotes the condition of the baby when the baby got to the hospital. The fact that if the doctor did tell her, your baby's brain dead, you still, like you said, there's miracles that can happen. And I think any mother would be just hanging on to that as the only way that she
Yeah,
is able to function at that point, not claiming it before it happened.
I would be holding on to that possibility for dear life. I would not absolutely. That's what. Yeah, that was also very confusing at the time that she did that. I mean, it's so matter. I still see it. Like that is forever seared in my head. She's in heaven, and then I see Maria's reply, "Oh God, Lita, I'm so sorry, and it's okay. I want justice."
It's
What?
okay. It's time for justice. What
But
the fuck?
but she'd already said that Eric didn't hit the baby, so that's what I don't understand. Then what? Where's the justice going to come from, Lita?
Because she said earlier in that messages, she said, everybody, I think, and everybody else thinks that this happened when Eric hit me.
Yeah,
I think she might have been the only one trying to put that story out there. Nobody, like, what medical professional would believe that a hit, the
serious.
vibration
That's
from
why.
you getting hit would kill your baby? No, ma'am.
And the
That would
fact police
that
assessed
would
her.
make me call CPS right away if I was that ER nurse. I'd be like, "You lying fucking bitch," and I would immediate.
Yeah, like why did the police did not already involve CPS at that moment? If there is domestic violence going on per her while she's holding a child, and it's not their first time at that house, it's obvious because she said herself, the police always blame me. Why the hell wasn't there already we need to keep on this family and make sure that this child is safe? That kind of bothers me. Not kind of, that does bother me.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It's like, but because since there was, I mean, even the abuse of the dog, even the claiming insanity 2 days prior to giving birth.
Oh,
There's so many things that could have should have
wait,
red
wait.
flagged.
Wait, what did you say? 2 days prior to she gave birth, she was claiming insanity?
That's what John reported. I haven't seen, or I think I don't know if it's on his page or not, but yeah, they said that she claimed insanity 2 days prior to birth. Therefore, I mean, it's on again. It's on Heidi's video. Why didn't CPS get alerted to that? You're claiming you're not mentally equipped to be able to be held responsible for trying to kill your dog. So if you're not mentally equipped for the damage or the abuse you've incurred upon your animal, well, why would you be mentally fit to take care of a child?
Wait a second, though. Let me go pull up the records. But was that at the same time, like right before one of her hearings that she did that? Because I remember she zoomed in from the hospital that time, I think, as well, right?
I'm not for sure, but I don't know where that. Oh, I know where you can find that. I know where you can find it. I know it's a Us Weekly interview. Look, Google Us Weekly article, Lita and baby's death or something like that. It's an article that says that she pled insanity from
That's
Us Weekly.
okay.
So it's got to be somewhere in the documentation for them to have pulled that and put that in their article because I mean they're basically pretty reputable.
All right, I got it. Maybe, yeah. I know that's what I mean. I've read so many of these stories. Hold on. Let me mute all these ads that pop up every 2 seconds. Okay, yes, July 17th, she was arrested for bail jumping. Let's back it up. Um, unless there's a previous, dear God, you can take away my life, but do not take away my daughter's life. This is after she already said that her daughter was dead, and that's what's crazy. When she's writing those posts, I think is after she's already said to Maria she's in heaven.
Mm-hmm. It was after?
I have to look at the videos, but all those videos happened the 5th and 6th, and it was on the 5th. My baby's in the hospital and she's in heaven, like literally that quick. I hold on, I have those screenshots here too. I hate going to my screenshots. All right, so July, we found out about it on the 11th, so it would be going back. Okay, actually, this one has more. These are from John. I'm at Big Hospital now. Where's the date on this? Sunday. So that's all happened on Saturday. I'm at Big Hospital, just got here. My baby got here 25 minutes ago. And Maria says, please keep me updated. She is very ill. She is critical. Her brain is swollen because not enough oxygen. Maria says, oh my God, this is terrible. Praying for her. Please, please pray for Alyssa. And then the next messages were date yesterday. Well, that doesn't help. First, she's asking, do you want to do a live? So, okay, July 6th, it looks like.
So she wanted to do a live while her daughter was still on the ventilator.
Yeah, I may be emotional, but I'm sorry. Let me come to the right screen. I'm still on US Weekly. I may be emotional, but I'm tired of crying the whole time. And then it jumps to yesterday, 7:38 p.m. So I presume that's going to be Sunday. We can do one tomorrow morning if you want around 10:30. I'll be home late today. My baby is in heaven now. That was a reply to that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It is fine. Blank, Maria. I accept. You have to be so sad. I'm tired, Maria. Now it's time for justice. So literally within. So she posted, yeah, those videos, I have to double check the timestamp of, because they started on the 5th and they went into the 6th. But let me go back to that other article I was just looking at.
148's in here. 148's in here. I'm behind a bit, but when I was friends with Lita, I would ask her the most basic questions that any hospital employee would know, and she never knew the answer. Same exact story for me. Yep.
Really? Maybe maybe she was just and I'm not saying just, I'm saying a CNA, and not that they can't do CPR.
No, that they're required to know how to do it. You have to go through BLS. You have to be able to initiate basic life support.
All right, I can't find the right article. Look, there's several actually.
It's Us Weekly. Lita.
This one about the flight risk.
No, it's about the baby dying. Maybe it was the flight risk one. I'm not sure. It's the one of those says that she pled insanity, and I don't know if it's in the article that it was 2 days prior to birth, or if then Genevra went and found it in the records to reflect the date. I'm not,
because she did do that for her. I think it was July 18th. She had a hearing about the dog situation, and she was in the hospital for that one. So she did it prior to birth. And had a hearing, and then had another hearing coming up. So, better go to the hospital.
That's to support my claim. Yeah. And I bet you that hospital does not have a psych ward. That is a teaching facility, just like the kind of hospital I work in. And there's not a psych unit. So, I mean, if she went in there for ideations, it's possible that they came and interviewed her from the psych hospital. I don't think that hospital, I didn't look, so don't quote me, but there's not psych wards usually. They're usually off campus. They're usually at a different location. And they'll hold them in the ER or the ICU, and then they'll come from that facility and interview the patient. And if it's quite possible, she's like, no, I'm fine. Everything, I don't know, but it didn't sound like she ever went to a psychiatric hospital because she was out in 2 days.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm also going to look at the timeline. I think that Geneva put together. Let's see if that gives us anything. All right. Thank you for putting this together. Jen, I'm just going to call you Jenny since I mess up your name every time. May, June. Sells the trucks, trailers, list Corvette, 529. Enters not guilty. Okay, so 529. The baby, yeah, that would have been right about when the baby was born, if it was 5 weeks, July 11th. So 529 enters not guilty by reason of insanity plea on animal abuse and DV. The baby is born. The baby's born 531.
2 days.
That's, you know how manipulative that is then? So the next hearing for the dog case, you're back in the hospital and then you're out on freaking YouTube. Sorry, guys, I got a lot to catch up on. That's crazy. All right, you know what? I'm going to add Geneva's post. I don't think her account is up right now. I don't know if it's going to let me do it while I'm live. Come on. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but since her page is not up, I can't direct you to it. Un momento. Come on. Let's see if I can add it over here.
Would the doctors allow the family to be in the room with them? Well, what do you mean, in the ER or in the ICU room?
What was the question?
In what situation would the doctors allow family to be in the room with them? Not during active resuscitation, that's for sure. I mean, you would expect that to be really distracting to have but if it was Lita, I don't have a problem with them being in the room because she ain't gonna show any fucking fear or any she's not your typical mother. Her reactions aren't typical. I mean, I'm just making somewhat of a perverse joke there because I would under no circumstances would the family be allowed while active resuscitation is going on, only after stabilization, no matter how the mom acts. But yeah, no, not during resuscitation.
All right, so on the screen, I went ahead and put this timeline together. So yes, baby's born 531. June rehomes the dog. So apparently, if you guys didn't read John's with the text messages between Eric and whoever, so apparently the dog was supposed to be neutered. I don't know why the dog couldn't eat for 2 days beforehand. I've never heard of that. Maybe 6 hours or something. Never 2 days. But that was what he said, and that the dog bit her. And he either had a choice to put the dog down or doesn't even make sense. Put the dog down or rehome it. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. But okay, if the dog is deemed violent, rehoming it doesn't fix it. But regardless, yeah. So it sounded like she just did not want that dog at that point, obviously. 6'3", she changed the name of her company from Proud American LLC to For All People LLC under Lita's name only. Oh, bye, Eric. June 10th, transferred ownership of the house to For All the People. Boy. 621. Okay, so this is why I have the date 621 in my head. Yeah, that's the first alleged abuse, but I found no actual record of it as far as on the court. So 7-1, 10 days later, first alleged abuse. I'm sorry, rented the house out. So alleged abuse, 621, rented the house out a few days later, 10 days later. And 7-2 goes to Indonesian consulate in Chicago to get the baby's passport. I always thought it was the boys. 7-4, Eric passes out in a car and Lita posts it on IG. They get into an altercation and Eric leaves. 7-4, from 7 to 8 p.m. Police are called by the neighbor. According to Eric, he had slapped her, and she went over to the neighbor's house, and they called. At 2:41 on 7/5, so we're talking 4th of July into Saturday the next day, early in the middle of the night, 2:41, they find Eric, and he is arrested in a gas station parking lot. 7/5, the same day, 9:20 a.m., Lita asked neighbor to get a ride to get her car. No mention of baby by Lita. I don't understand where her Oh, is
Well,
that the gas station?
I don't know where her car was either.
Maybe Eric was in her car at the gas station. And
Oh my gosh, this is all running together. Okay, so also George makes a good point because I'm assuming that they knew. Do you think that they knew 25 minutes into the first admission into the ER before they transferred to higher level of care? Was that just 25 minutes? Did she say that in the car? Or so
very
because it's
well,
also John said something the other night on his live about she needed a ride to her car.
so
What date was that? What date?
7-5. So he had been arrested in the parking lot. So they probably left the car there, told her to come pick it up. So this was before the baby was injured because this is at 9:20 in the morning.
Well,
And
How was she driving initially to the other hospital if she didn't have her car?
well, that's what I mean. This is before 3 p.m. when the call went out. Hold on, let me finish reading this and maybe it makes sense.
All
So
right.
yeah, so at 9 in the morning, yeah, 3 a.m. he's arrested. I guess they leave the car there, tell her to come get your car. So she's able to get her neighbor to take her at 9:20, or at least she asked him to get a ride then. Same day at 3:16 is the 911 call for the baby. 5 p.m. witnesses see Lita at an ER at Gunderson Moundview Hospital. I don't know if that's the small one or the big one. Same day, 7-5 evening, Lita with baby at American Family Children's Hospital. Okay, so she was at the big or little hospital at 5, and by 7, or a little bit later. Okay, this is gonna make sense. She's at the bigger hospital. 7:04 p.m. Lita says, "My baby is in heaven." Saturday, 7-5.
She said it's Saturday 7-5.
7-6, 7-6. Let me make it bigger for my
Yeah,
damn
it's
self.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So they had worked on her. 1 second. All right, sorry. Little chicken. Same day, 7-6. Lita states baby had a fractured back and requested an immediate autopsy and implies Eric is responsible. She did, and then she kind of didn't. She kind of backed off. If he did it, those kind of qualifiers. 7-7 to 7-9. Lita doing IG stories, acting perfectly fine and laughing. Yes, we saw. 7-7, son last seen in car in IG stories. God bless. I hope they confirm that he is actually in Indonesia as well, by the way. 7-7, 3 p.m. Eric is released from jail. And then, of course, the baby is pronounced, with my understanding, like 7-9. I think it was Wednesday. All right. Does anybody have any questions on that? But that sounds pretty much what I heard or pieced together as well, adding a few new things.
So yes, CPS should have went in and intervened if this is all the case.
Exactly, George. All right, let me get back over to comments. Maybe I misunderstood. I thought I'd heard that too, Ghostface, that but apparently, according to Eric, what I just read, she did apply for the babies, not for the sons. Maybe he already had one. Just seems, I don't know why she was making
Why
that
is it a priority? Thank you.
Yeah.
Why is it a priority when you can't travel with them?
Yeah, and at this point, they're already separated. I mean, they separated June 21st after that one fight. So was she planning on thank you. You can turn on that thing with the swamp mister. Thank you. I have to go. I thought she said she was. I thought she said in her car and assumed it was at impound. That's what I assumed too. It was at the impound, but apparently he was iced. And I'm going to assume here he was passed out in the parking lot because he was also arrested because he was in the car for a DUI. Eric, in that text message, if you haven't seen it, he said he drank tequila mixed with something else, and that all of that, the June 21st event, plus everything about the dog leading up to that, the daily meltdowns, he snapped and slapped her. Not making excuses. I'm just telling you what he said. I know. Anne, did you see pictures of the baby? You said she had pregnancy photos, but did you ever see a photo of the baby? I mean, even Maria didn't think that there was a baby and was doing a baby. That was the original intent of her even talking with Kiki, according to Kiki, and according to I don't know if Maria actually admitted that, but Kiki did, that there was they were actually looking at it, that there was no baby. And then it turns into my baby's in heaven. Never saw the pictures. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be so proud to see, and show. I know some people don't share certain things on social media, so I really can't say, I guess, on that. All right. I apologize for I'm very behind. Yes. And the embezzle, see, and I'm also, so this whole thing with LLCs, I'm curious how that all ties in, why she changed the name. Did she create her own LLC? And just think she was going to transfer how do you transfer a property without, if Eric's on the title, don't you need him as well are you still there?
I'm here. I'm just muted because I'm in Walgreens.
Okay. We're going shopping with Brooke.
I'm running those errands.
Get it done. All right, I'm moving locations. 1 second. So again, all this stuff I kind of put to the side and really hadn't thought about for a while. Now I'm thinking about it all again. And like I said, the fact of changing the title, changing the property to that, or the trucking company to that, I don't know why she would need Eric's signature, but begging to stay married, and then now going for an annulment / separation, when 16 months ago she was going for an actual divorce. Like that with the doctor. Okay, you already answered that one. I thought I got one of them.
Other than the 25 minutes, I'm sorry. She should have been updated within the 25-minute time period. For them to say the baby's brain is swollen in 25 minutes, it makes it even worse sounding, because if they know in 25 minutes to tell her that the baby's anoxic, then what kind of condition did they find the baby in?
I mean, they must have known before they transferred her, right? From one hospital to the other.
Yeah, and just the fact that they did transfer her and couldn't manage that tells you again that was really a grave prognosis from the point of admission. So I just can't imagine. And again, it'll come out in the autopsy, police reports, and all that, if she was cyanotic and in what condition. So
it'll be interesting too to see if every time she has a hearing, she's going to go to the hospital for something. Honestly, it looks so manipulative, Lita. And I get it being stressful that you have a court case coming up and that you're pregnant or whatever. That's stressful. But to do it a second time when you have another hearing, again, I don't know who's giving you advice. It's just not a good look. It looks very manipulative.
She doesn't even have the audacity to continue and keep up her mental health emergency in the public eye, because what does she do but to show some people's chats right after the fact, after she gets let out? She doesn't even have the wherewithal to maintain this claim publicly, which is fucking wild.
And I will say, we all over here in the 90-day, we've all been, and I really wasn't even going to touch on this, but us more than anybody, going back, have seen her behavior. Everybody saw it on TV. And lots of us had dealings with her in the background over on IG or YouTube. So we do have a right to make an opinion or form an opinion based off the behaviors that we've either seen before or even all her recent troubles with the law. So it's not like it's out of nowhere. It's not like this is just some Joe Schmo where, this whole her going to some people's chats and playing victim and, and this person's falling for it. Well, I guess that's on them. We do have the history a lot. I mean,
you see what Heidi said, 11? It says the neighbor did not call the police. Lita did. It's in the police report 7-4.
So she Did she go to the neighbors at all?
I think maybe the neighbors called about the fight, maybe, and that Lita called. Or is that right, Heidi? And then Lita called about the baby because I know Lita said she called 911 at some point.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I have the video or audio I could listen to, but I do recall her. She lied. Oh, all right. I'm behind. The neighbor did not call police. Lita did. You mean for when she actually was calling for medical help, or when she was calling about the fight? Because there's two different calls. The first, okay, this is what's in the. This is the story that I know. The fight 7-4 early in the morning to 7-5 that it Eric slapped her. She ran to the neighbor's house. They came. Eric left before they got there. They looked at her and looked at the baby, and they left. Later on that night, they arrested Eric, and then like at 3 a.m. and then at 3 p.m. he finds the baby unresponsive. Hold on, you may want to mute, hun. About which part? Wait, she called the police, and Eric identified. She called the police.
Maybe Heidi can come up.
I'll drop the link for Miss Heidi. Copy. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding. Does this state anything about the baby's condition, Heidi, during the fight? It's my understanding that the police, like, she obviously didn't go to the hospital herself for the slap, and the police, Eric assumed that she was holding the baby. That's according to what's on John Eustace's page. He assumed since he wasn't there that they left. Is my understanding. She identified herself as his wife when they. Where'd you go? She identified herself as wife when they had a fight. That's when the police report Lita called on Eric. Okay, so she called about the fight. They came. They did not take her to the hospital at that point. He's finally arrested at 3 a.m. And then, 12 hours later, she calls when she finds the baby unresponsive. And she makes sure to say in her videos, I did not drop the baby. The baby was moving. I think she even says its legs. I swear, that drives me nuts. She won't say her name. That baby Alyssa's legs were not moving and that she seemed fine. So in other words, to say I did not drop her and she was moving her legs to suddenly having a fractured back. Okay. Hey, Mugsy. Did I have it right now? I guess we're going to have to hear the calls. I'm sure somebody's going to have them. I've never FOIA'd anything myself. I think that's a good question, Gypsy, because she does mention in one of the videos, again, after the baby was already in the hospital, when she was in the parking lot, she said that the doctor said that she had nerve damage and that it was, this is what I don't understand too. She said it's numb, like from Botox, and then mentions a few sentences later, like, oh, but she can take something for pain. If it's numb, I don't know why you need to take anything, but okay. Oh, hello. You know what? I'll put an overlay up real quick, just in case.
It's me.
You there,
It's
Miss Heidi?
me. It's
Okay.
me. It's me. It's me.
So cautious these days.
Okay, so when Lita did the posting on IG, she said she begged the neighbor not to call the police. Okay. In the police record, it states a caller called with the initials LM. Then she later identified herself as his wife. Lita called about the fight, not the neighbor.
Where are those records at, by the way?
Okay, it's in a police report that was filed. U.S. Weekly pulled it in the second article they did. but they pulled the police report. Lita, she identified, they
Yep.
said LM,
I remember.
and she identified herself as his wife. Lita called the police on Eric, who was later picked up parked at a gas station. Lita called.
I don't know why she didn't lie about that. It doesn't even make any damn sense.
She's a liar. She's a liar. And then she did say the baby's legs were moving. And next thing she go, the baby was unresponsive. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm. And that the
So
doctor said she had a fractured back. That's why she's like, no, the baby's legs were moving. Fractured back. I guess just spontaneously happens. Not.
So I would take anything that Lita says with a grain of salt. I don't know who's feeding Eric this information. I really, really don't. I don't know if she's telling people things so she knows it gets back to Eric, but she's been lying from the get-go. Lying.
Yeah,
So
I totally forgot too about the letter. That should be added to the timeline of where she sent the letter to the judge trying to remove the RO.
yeah, I think that was in John's timeline that I read the night he was on my panel. But there is something seriously wrong with her. Seriously wrong with Lita. She's unattached. She has no emotion. It's weird. But again, I'm waiting to see when they go lock with the silver bracelets, because there's no way she's not getting arrested for this.
I can't
And
imagine.
they called it a criminal investigation. They went to the judge on July 11th and asked for her passport to be surrendered, which is a separate investigation. No, they said a separate criminal investigation. So by that time, they already knew something was wrong. This is a criminal case.
I
Oh,
believe
you're right.
So-
I don't have
getting
the
that
I don't have
passport
the
is
second
part of.
page.
Mm-hmm. So I have no idea but like Brooke said, I was back and forth. I was in and out. Like Brooke said, they should have a preliminary by now. They know. What's holding it up, don't know. But they should have if not the cause, but the manner of death. They should know. Now, the toxicology would take a while. For some reason, that's not being released. I don't know what they're looking for, what they're doing. Lita should be in cuffs by now, because if it was something that was, let's say, genetic, which we know it's not, they would have said that by now. But the fact that they're still investigating, Lita should be very scared. And I'm like you, I have a hard time believing she went to Indonesia, because I would have never come back. There is no extradition from Indonesia to the United States. No agreement, no nothing.
I believe they'll make an exception for a murder suspect, though. I think that.
No, Brooke, if you go read it. No, go read it. It's nope. And then when you were talking about I heard 11 say something else. And I was like, no. So Eric, as far as them staying married, my Wisconsin cannot force him to testify. If he testified voluntarily, they would take it, but they can't force him to testify at all. But he can testify willingly, but they can't force him.
Something I probably brushed over before while I'm looking at this hearing or motion today that she filed, or yesterday, for the annulment.
I think she filed an annulment. Yeah, that's not going to fly either.
But it's proposed. It just FYI, I didn't read this before. Proposed by one party, and it's got Lita's name. So it's not like they came together and said, "Yeah, we want to get divorced."
Yep.
It's her.
It's her. But she's not going to get us an annulment in Wisconsin, just like Angela couldn't get an annulment in Georgia. You have to meet a criteria. She doesn't meet that criteria. I didn't even talk about that, because she's just doing stuff. I think she's trying to set up this plan where she's mental. She's not sure what she's doing. And something else I caught you said, when she said her daddy said to come home, and she told him, no, I got court and stuff. But before then, go back and listen. She said she wanted to protect her and her son. And she said, Her daddy said, Lita, come home. I don't want you to get killed. She told him she had to, that's why she was going get the RO to protect her and her son. And she had court stuff. This whole thing is a mess. Every time you listen to it, you hear more and more stuff. So, but she just needs to go. But I was listening what Brooke was saying about doing the CPR. She's exactly right. There was no CPR done on that child before EMT got there. But she's a doctor and she didn't do any CPS on her child. I mean, CPR. I said
That could be a
CPS.
charge
Jesus.
as well, not
Yep.
rendering aid.
Yep. She's a doctor and she didn't do anything. Brooke was completely right about that. So, but anyway.
Just FYI, Jen, I don't see her in the blocked list. I don't know
Okay.
if she got blocked this live, but I don't see her in there. I would, if she's got something to share or add to this whole thing, I'll definitely take it, but I don't see her blocked.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you because I was trying to talk to text and it wasn't coming across right. I said, let me
No,
just jump. But no, Lita is the one that called. She lied on that IG post. Lita called the police because I even read it. I said, so let me get this right. She said she begged the neighbor. I read it. I said, but she identified herself as LM. And then in the next paragraph, they said, she says that that she is the victim, the defendant's wife. That's what she said, not the neighbor. She's just been lying. But the police has no reason to lie. So why would the police lie about a call that went through dispatch? She called.
right. So if US Weekly is able to get copies of the police report, can
Yeah, you can
anybody
pull it. But I think now with the investigation, I don't know if they're tying it all together. But yes, you should be able to get it. Yeah, all you got to do is log into Wisconsin, Adams County, and you should be able to pull it up.
I have it up, but it just shows, all the motions and filings. And
Okay,
I'm
go
glad.
through Pacer. Yeah, you can go through Pacer and get it.
Okay.
But you can pull the police report without having to do the FOIA. Now, if you want the FOIA to get the calls, I don't know if they're going to release those or not because it is an active investigation.
True. I'm glad that the judge did not seal this case. I gotta say.
No, I don't think. But you know what? You might want to call Adams County and speak to one of them young sheriffs one young officers who just don't like her. Look, who just don't like her, and you might be able to get all kind of information.
E11, what did I tell you I wanted to do earlier?
Exactly.
Brooke, I didn't even hear that, but I'm telling you, you call and you get the right person.
I'm telling you.
They've been dealing. I assume it's not a very big county. I don't know why, but they've been dealing with her on a lot of issues. So, yeah.
It's not, but and there are several people that live in that area that sees Lita all the time. And I'm telling you, they don't like her at all. And there's only really one judge that handles a lot of those cases. I'm sure he's tired of seeing her by now too.
I imagine, especially with now a deceased. Why was your slip? That's another good question.
Why? But I got to carry. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got to carry these bags into the car. I'll talk at you later. Bye.
Bye. That's a good question. Why would they leave a severely autistic child in her care after those events?
Got me. Telling you, certain entities just dropped the ball.
All right. I appreciate you, ladies. It's let me just see if there's anything to add here in the background. Like I said, sometimes I'll cover this stuff. It just depends on my mood. Okay. All right, I'll catch up on that stuff. Let me just see if there's anything there. Okay, no. Like I said, I presume maybe I presume John will continue to get info how he's been getting it, and if or like I said, there's other people that are covering it, other bloggers, Kiki, and Kibitz, and sometimes people just send things my way too. So we'll talk about it because it's definitely something to talk about. All right. Well, I did have another live plan for today. It was just going to be to do something, fun. We'll do that maybe tomorrow or the next day. I think apparently Jen and I had scheduled at the same time. I did not notice that earlier, so she's probably going to go live, I think, after 4. Brooke, are you going live anytime soon?
No, I've got stuff to do today. We go tomorrow to Houston. We have to be up super early. So.
Oh, that's right. All right. Yes.
And I'm just trying to get some errands done and all that jazz. So, and I still have to cook and all the fun adult crap.
Adulting crap. I hear you. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up and talking this through with me.
All right. Well, it was great live. Thanks, E. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye, hon. All right, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, we're still talking it out. Seems like I'm not going to remember every detail. So it's nice to have someone a couple people. Thank you, Heidi, too. She'll be probably covering it, it looks like. So make sure you check with her. And you're probably something on a regular ongoing basis. Unless someone wants to keep sending me stuff, then sure, I'll cover it. I can do that. But wouldn't CPS. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, Michelle. No, really, now that I think about that, I didn't think about that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Lita, you got time. I don't know. Maybe, never mind. You know what? I'm just going to learn to shut up when I should shut up. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. I'm not going to play us out with much. I don't have a generic play out thing. I'm not going to play us out to chickens today. I'm not even sure I'm going to play us out to anything. We'll just do 30 seconds. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming. Hit the like, please, on your way out. It's much appreciated. Oh, and thank you, Sarah, for being a member, by the way, for 9 months. Really appreciate that. And Miss Ann, thank you very much. Appreciate everything. All right, let me go back here. All right, bye, guys. Oh, Jesus. How long have I been muted? I don't even know. Okay, maybe it just muted me when I started the audio thing. Okay, let's hope that's the case. I'll see what happens when I click it. I don't see any you're muted. So I guess it just muted me on. Okay, let's see. My gosh, shit. How long have I been muted? Let's see if it does it.